What's up, everyone? So, this topic I want to get to is concerning my friend circle in general. Yes, I may mention the nutballers in some parts in this video since they're a part of my current friend circle, right? So let's dive into this one because I want to talk about specifically where you know, like as I'm dealing with these ongoing issues, and that includes my dump. Obviously, I've been there for 12 and a half years, and I'm trying to get the hell out of there. As we've been battling through my job hunting for so long that I still end up being there, and especially since I had to endure the last week or the last 2 weeks rather, without air conditioning, and of course my outside issues as well, and with a family member just we can't deal with. You know what I'm saying? So that itself I can't control. The outside life I'm dealing with I can't control, and I said it in my previous videos that it's only my job situation that I can control. So at this point it's only come to that. Now, as it pertains to my friend circle, yes, I've already lost a whole bunch of friends. And I'm talking about my ex-close friends. You can see a majority of them here on my wall. Guys like Christine, all of my competitors by heart, my former competitors by heart, Christine, Kriza, Kirill. You might even include Alyssa. She was about to be one, right? As I reconnected with her like in 2020, late 2020. And, our friendship started to develop from there, especially as I found out her birthday was on Valentine's Day. So close friends like her and Carmi, Joanne, Marielle, Pearl Jane, Gwen, Giselle, you include Tristan, former nutballer, Andrew just recently, and even like former high school friends, Arnaldo, Juan, not Juan Rangel, not that one, not my other guy Juan, the one who got married, and what used to be my coworker, right, long time work for him. I'm talking about Juan from high school when I met him in the sophomore year. Good friend. He was a very nice guy, and unfortunately he blocked me from Facebook. Just a lot of friends, a lot of ex-close friends, even Diana, Jesse, just so many of them, and that's just very alarming on my part. And look, the last few months I already admitted that I was a failure of a friend, and it shows here based on a whole bunch of friends that I lost, and I'm talking about all my ex-close friends, right? So, looking forward as I do this video, I want to discuss more on what my future will be like. Like, let's see, as of right now, I have been on the record that I'm feeling stuck with the life that I'm in. Now, I don't literally mean stuck as in like I can't do anything. I know it just seems that way, but as of right now, like the only thing I can really control is my job situation. I know I've been on the record. I need to get a new job so at least that itself would better like 50% of my life. And this way, like I've been saying it too, as I'm out of these group chats, the nutballer group chats, that if I get a new job, then I can definitely be myself again. I know a lot of people are not going to believe this. Guys like Part Jory, Lovely Mel, Julio, Robbie. I know a lot of them do. Mari, me and Mari, I've always gone back and forth about, why I think a new job will help better my life. Will help me to build a better life or start a new life. And it's not just her. And like I know, like I said, she and I have always gone back and forth about, how, she says that, I gotta find help, and that it can do other things to make you happy and this and that. And I said no, it's got to be I get all that, but at the end of the day it has to be a new job. in general, for me to better my life, because everything that I'm going through, you know, it's why I feel so miserable and unhappy every single day, as long as I'm working in that dump, or I'm in that dump, even as I'm dealing with all these other issues. Now, I said it before, I can't be able to, you know, to just find my own peace. I've said that already. While the discussions are still in for possibly me just moving to a different state, it's still in the works, but, you know, until something drastic happens, that is not going to happen. But even if it does, like, it's like I gotta, I'm gonna end up moving out of state, but not by myself, right? That's the part where, like, as I'm looking at the future, you know, while I still have no control over what's happening in my outside life, like, you know, the job situation is, it's just like now or never for me. And as I'm going on my second week here on my 2 week big break, I gotta really, really buckle down. But the thing is, I've been buckling down on my job hunting for so long that, I haven't really gotten anything except that one job interview that I had to decline because they only had a couple benefits. No PTO. I think it was only health. That's for sure. But anyway, as I'm looking toward the future of this, of where my life is at, where my circle is at, I just wonder, how many more friends will I lose? I know I hate to ask that question, but this is what the topic is. While I'm dealing with so much dilemma in my home life / outside life and my dump / my work life, I just wonder how many more friends will I lose at this point. And I gotta say this, man. I'm very, very, very lucky and fortunate to have regained some of these friends that I lost, like Robbie. I know he made it clear after the group text incident, the infamous group text incident. He was done with me. That, he told me to go get help. That, all my crap keeps happening, this and that, and he just made it clear. Yeah, lose my number, we're done. And then we just reconnected recently, like about a month ago. And as with Dewey, yeah, I know he said this is your last straw. I had enough of it. Right after the group text incident, I'll give you one more chance. He made that clear to me, right? So, and unfortunately, we reconnected. I reconnected with everyone except Andrew, who I officially lost. So it's up to that point where, like, it just makes you wonder, like, I do have real friends, guys like Robbie, like Julio, like, like Russ, Ray, Abbas. I still gotta find out with Anastasia and Cecilia, but at least I still have a great number of real friends like them, and Mari, of course. Look, a lovely Mel wants to reconnect with me, So, I know I should be thankful, right? But then it's like, as I'm still going through these issues, and look, I've been on my beast mode again. It's like I almost picked up where I left off after the group text incident. And I know I'm not gonna say that it's anything that's similar to that, but to that group text incident, but still, it's like, how much longer are these guys going to be able to put up? I'm talking about all of the guys in the Nut Ballers group chats. The Nut Ballers itself. Yes, I'm mentioning the Nut Ballers right now. How much longer are these guys going to be able to put up with what I'm talking about? Like, all the delusional talk that I said. I know Carlos got super annoyed, and that led the boss to just, defending me right there. And then, it started a little bit of beef right there. And obviously, a boss and Dewey, and I mentioned about, like, all my beast mode rants. I rubbed the boss the wrong way, this and that. Damn, my nose is runny. So here's the thing, like the general, the general consensus of this topic is, you know, like how much longer will I be able to put up these issues to the point where, you know, I end up losing more friends? Because let's just face it, you know, I can only I said it. I can only control what I can control, and that's my job situation. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I gotta look at the bigger picture. You know, how many more friends am I gonna lose as I'm still dealing with these issues? I've already lost far too many, you know, the last few years because of these issues that I'm still dealing with. Especially, you know, the biggest one being my dump, my ongoing misery and unhappiness as a result of all these issues I'm dealing with, especially more so my outside life, that it's just been chaotic as hell. And now one of my, you know, I had a family member that's just, you know, dealing with this kind of sickness that we, like, you know, me and the rest of my family just can't control. It's gone to that point. Like, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to put up with all this. It's just tough. You know, it does make me, like, it's just so much stress, and like the vibes have just been nothing but stress, mostly stress at this point. You know, apart from that dilemma right there, it's just so much more dilemma that I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, yeah, I mean, at this point, like that's why I'm staying away from these group chats. You know, I know the main reason is me still being in that dump, but when I still have these other issues going on, I still gotta stay away from, you know, just interacting so often in those nut bar group chats, because I know what I'm gonna do. I'm fully aware of that. So in order for me to avoid risking more friend losses, and who knows, if I still end up doing what I did like the last few weeks, I might end up losing a majority of those dudes. Okay? So I already know. Dewey, I already know. It could be Dewey, it could be Carlos, could be Julio, could be Robbie. That's why I gotta do myself the favor. I mean, it's no disrespect. I mean, I don't have any beef with any of these guys, but I'm doing what I'm doing. I had to stay away, and especially out of social media. I mean, look what I did. Look how many of these ex-close friends blocked me while I was still in social media and in those nutballer group chats and doing these hangouts with these guys while all these issues are going on. That's why I'm just, you know what, while I'm fully aware, you know, I gotta keep doing what I'm doing. You know, I mean, I did what I did because I know these issues are not going to stop anytime soon. They're gonna be ongoing, and knowing where I stand with my life and with my friend circle is, you know, I gotta make sure it's safe. Period. It has to remain safe in that, you know, I'm not gonna. I know that I'm fully aware that I'm not going to let any of my beast mode rants just continue affecting it to where it's gonna break apart. Because I said it, like, you know, after I ghosted my entire circle, that nearly half of my friend circle got destroyed because of not only what I did in the group text incident, that causing the group text incident last year, but, you know, the last few years where I lost so many of my ex-close friends. And yeah, I know I thought I lost Sam for a second. Now, she and I are talking now. No, I know she's been busy. She's going through a family member loss, and condolences to her, you know, her and her family. She lost her father just recently. So I'm sorry to hear that. But anyways, yeah. So, you know, I'm very fortunate to still have a great deal of these close friends. I know Mari is one of my best friends, and I know despite that almost a month silence that we had in May, I'm glad we're good again, and I'm glad me and Robbie are good again. And as far as everyone else, I reconnected last month. I still got to get with Anastasia, and unfortunately, Andrew don't want any part of the Nutballers or even me and the rest at this point. So, and as far as Alexis, we're still good, right? So, I mean, I like I said, I gotta focus more on myself, man, because this is the best thing that I can do. So by being out of those group chats right now, and especially while I'm still out of social media, I know it's going to eventually help me to continue focusing more on myself. At least I'm giving not only them peace, but myself some peace as well. I don't want to be any more distracted. I want to have a fully better understanding of mental health, the mental health that I'm getting, so that I know that in the long run, things will smoothen out once I get a better understanding of whatever I write down that bothers me, that I tell my therapist about. I think I can get clearer answers, and as part of my growth of being a better person mentally. Now, I know this is my first time taking therapy. This is my first time just getting mental help myself, and I just want to make sure that I'm able to see the light in the long run. But I don't know if, like, I can only do so much with that, because I know that I'm still going to be dealing with these ongoing issues, and even for the future. So I just don't want to lose any more friends at this point. So I mean, with what I already have, as it shows on the thumbnail there, my ex close friends memorial wall. So I don't want to add to any more of that. So I lost who I lost. Okay, I'm not bringing back who I lost, like Rhea and Kriza, and I don't know about Angel. I have to see how things go. Like, maybe I will talk about my friendship with me and Angel sometime. And if I'm gonna become a better person, then let's see what she feels. But I briefly mentioned I gotta be a much better version of me for me to reconnect with her, to try to reconnect with her at least. So anyways, this is what I want to touch on, man, because I just want to express what for as long as I'm still having these ongoing issues, that if it's going to affect my friend circle based on this worst version of me or this shell of myself, that that's why I did what I did. And I got to make sure that in order for me to not to avoid losing any more friends, that I got to stay away from these group chats and out of social media until I'm at least 90% mentally better. I've been on the record. So yeah, let me know what you all think, guys, because this is what I want to touch on, and yeah, that's all I want to talk about. And you have a nice rest of your morning. Peace.